What is Jacob Patterson Wumbo again, and I'm going to teach you today the proper way to prep a pair of shoes. At least the way I do it. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I'm going to show you what has been easiest for me. So first thing you need is, of course, your shoes. I'm only talking about leather shoes. I'm going to show you on Nike Air Force Ones, all white. The interesting thing about Nike Air Force Ones is that the swoosh and sometimes the back don't prep the same way as the rest of the shoe. So I'll show you that as we go. And the materials you're going to need are cotton balls, first of all. That's at least what I use. Some acetone. You can get this at any hardware store. And like a glass cup. I highly suggest you use latex rubber gloves, but I don't have any at the moment. You can do it from time to time. You can touch the acetone, but if you do it all the time, you're going to start to ruin your skin really, really bad. So you don't want to do what I'm doing right now very much. So the first thing you want to do is just grab like a handful of cotton balls and you put it in your glass container. It needs to be glass because it'll melt plastic. And then open the acetone. You're going to have to use like a screwdriver or something like that to get it open. Pour a little acetone on the cotton balls. So be really careful too where you set this down. You can put the glass container down as long as you didn't spill anything, but don't set the acetone down on like a floor that's been lacquered or anything like that, because if any's dripped around the side of the can, then you're going to ruin the finishing on your floor. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that your cotton balls are pretty good. You want them to be wet, but not wet enough that they can drip. Maybe like a little tiny bit of a drip is okay. And then make sure all the cotton balls are like that. What you're going to do next is rub it on the shoe for a little while. You'll see that it starts getting wet and the wax that's on the leather starts to get softer. And then I always have my fingernails a little bit long and I press, not too hard because I don't want to scratch the leather underneath. And as long as I can keep scratching until it dries completely, which is right about now, I just scratch off as much wax as I can. Then you take off all the little pieces, put them in a trash can. And then you go ahead and do it again. It gets a lot easier after the first time you did it because then you can just continue the line and it works better. That's pretty much how you do it. You can press really hard as well if you just want to like push down really hard, but I prefer, for quality purposes, I prefer to use a cotton ball, which is like really, really soft, and then my fingernail, which I can control how much pressure there is. I don't want to use like steel wool or anything like that because I'm afraid of scratching the leather because I don't know how hard I have to press. If you have too much acetone, when you rub it in, it'll just like melt that stuff and like smear it all around. So you don't want too much acetone, but you also want to make sure that the whole time you're using it, once it starts to not melt it enough like that and you don't get really any wax when you rub on it, then it's time to grab a new cotton ball. The other thing is the swoosh on Air Force Ones, prepping it is really difficult. You're not going to be able to get really anything off when you scratch it. So just push really hard and prep, and that's all you can really do. And it's going to take a couple more layers, and you're going to have to use extra finisher on the swoosh. The back panel is sometimes the same, so we'll see what it looks like right now. You can just go straight over the threads, by the way. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty much the same. Last thing is for the sole. One good technique if you want to paint the threads is just to paint them, get paint everywhere, it doesn't matter, because you can just use acetone and get anything off the sole really easy. It's not going to damage it. And then when you're done, it should look something like this. You just have most of it off. I mean, if I wanted to, I could come back in and get a little bit more of that white off, but it's really not going to matter because I'm going to go over it with the base coat of white first, and you're ready to go.
Once all that's off, hats off to a true life artiste, Jacob Patterson. Subscribe, he's a beast. When you walk down the street, you gotta have art on your feet. These are so much more than sneakers, baby.
Look at my fingers already. That's really bad. I should not be doing this.